Hey everyone, and welcome to the Families Fly Free podcast. Today I have with me another Families Fly Free member to share her story with you, to help inspire, give you her best tips, and just to show you that this is possible for everyone to do. That's why I like to bring on these interviews so that you can see yourself in some of our members, hopefully. So welcome. Today we have Cheryl Claybrooks with me. Cheryl, will you just tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Well, Lynn, I'm a retired teacher. I taught for 29 years. I retired in 2014, December 2014, and got tired of sitting home. So I went back to work with the school system, work a couple of days a week. I live in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm a mother of one adult child and two grandsons. Um, and I like to do 5K races and 10Ks. Um, I like to read, and gardening is my real passion. And that's about it.
So what grade level did you teach?
I taught really K through 12, but mostly of the time I was teaching elementary age, and I taught gifted children.
Oh,
Um, itinerant teacher going to different schools every day. It was really challenging.
I would imagine so, yeah. And for 29 years, that's a long time.
Yeah, when I began teaching, I taught hearing impaired kids, and then Oakland came up with the gifted program. And so it's a big change.
Yeah. So Cheryl's been a member since May of 2021, I believe. So as we're recording this, she's approaching 2 years, I guess, of being a member.
Yeah.
So she definitely has some experience under her belt. So let's just start by having you share why you decided to join Families Fly Free to start with.
Well, I had been reading a lot of articles. You're the go-to travel gal. I saw a lot of those videos and read some articles, and I learned a lot from them. I thought, well, if I join, I'll learn even more. And so I just jumped in and joined.
Okay. And has it been a good decision?
It has been an excellent decision. I was amazed at how quickly I got my companion pass through Southwest Airlines, and then was able to use it really mostly in 2021. But yeah, it's been a very good experience. I love the weekly uh, webinars. I love all the access to the information, and the staff is great, and the alerts are great too. So
So
yeah, it's
let's
been
let's
good.
just talk about that. So what do you find helpful? Maybe explain what the alerts are and how they're helpful to you.
Well, the alerts are if they're travel alerts, and a lot of them are regarding Southwest Airlines, but there could be other travel alerts as well. The alerts about like if a sale is coming up, or if you want to take advantage of an offer, how in a way how to gather more how you can spend smartly on your everyday needs, and then it'll transfer over to your travel. You can use it for travel. So
And those
that's
just help you stay up to date.
yes, and
Yeah.
aware what's going on.
Yeah, our alerts are designed to be, we send them out. You can choose to get them via text or via email or both. But they're designed to be more timely news that we think you need to know right now. Like yesterday, I think it was yesterday, we just sent one out. Disney, had big news
Right.
about free parking now at the resorts, for example. And so we know a lot of our members are interested in Disney. So those are the kinds of things that we try to share, timely news so you can stay on top of things.
Yeah.
So
Great.
is there a particular part of the membership that is your favorite besides the
Um,
alerts?
besides the alerts, I always have to say that the seminars that are the webinars that are offered weekly, they're so. I like how there's it's themed on the month. Like each month has a theme, and then you can. And if you haven't had time to watch the webinar, you can also watch it later. but I just like the access of the information and how you have different people on that share their travel information and their expertise, and I just learn a lot.
Are there topics that you have really enjoyed?
Oh wow. I like Cammie. The way she plans, I mean, she's genius. The way she plans out her trips, and the last one, where do you want to go in 2023, and how it's so organized. And one day I'm going to grow up and be just like Cammie and just have everything organized and methodical. And I like how, the research she does. And I do research too when I'm planning a trip, but she takes it to a whole nother level.
She does. She's our master of organization. So Cammie's one of our Families Fly Free team members, and she actually helps me stay organized. That's sort of her job in the business is to make sure everything's running smoothly and efficiently and keep me on task and everything. But she also leads some of our webinars too, and she shares she is super organized. And so we just had one, we're recording this in January, so we just had one on how to plan where you want to travel in 2023. So she gave all kinds of great ideas and how you can make lists and get your planning in order. So she also did another one that's a perpetual favorite of everyone's about how to plan for a trip.
Yes.
Yeah. So we may have to have her do an encore of that too, because that's incredibly helpful. She probably does more than the rest of us will be able to do, like you're saying, but we can all pull some great ideas,
Right.
To use. So is there anything that you found surprising about the membership that you didn't expect, or?
I think it was just that if I can't get in touch with you, for example, there are other staff members that are just as knowledgeable, and that they have access to a lot of information, and they quickly return your emails. It's just and also you have on the site the different places that you may want to plan a vacation around. You can go there and gather a lot of information there. And so it's not just, you can kind of dream of places you want to go, and then there's ways to show you, what you can do to plan it and save money is at the same time. So it's just a variety of things that are available on the website.
And like, it's Families Fly Free, so we focus on you're going to come in and learn how to fly free, but there's a whole lot more to it, a whole lot of additional resources that you get alongside that.
Right. You get a lot of ideas too, and ways to stretch your dollar.
Yes, which we think is super important, because even if you're flying free, everything else isn't necessarily free. Food sure isn't free, right? So you have to learn how to do your best to save on all those other expenses as well. Okay, so, and Cheryl, you travel a lot as a single traveler. So I do get a lot of people that are like, but I don't have a large family, so would this help me? What would you say to other single travelers who are considering this?
Well, I would say go for it. I do have a family, and I have taken advantage of
They get
Southwest.
to go with you sometimes too, right?
Right. They do. They get to go.
Your grandkids are benefiting from this for sure.
Right. So you like the companion pass, it did help me when I traveled with my family. For myself, it's you can go on the website or listen to some of the webinars, and you can get information about how to plan your trip, like I said before, and how to save money. So it is good if you have a family, and it's good if you don't, because whenever you go, you're still going to have to pay airfare. You still got to have hotel rooms and then that type of thing. And so the families fly free. I can say it.
No one can say it. So.
I can't say it.
I'm the only one.
You can learn how to save on your trips, and it's been really beneficial for
Do
me.
you feel like you get your money's worth? Like even if you were just traveling alone all the time, is the monetary value there for you?
Yes, because like I didn't know how you can like your everyday spending can translate into getting hotels points for hotels, which then you don't have to pay for. So yes, by going on a couple of trips and using those points, it really paid for the membership. And I didn't I knew about airline points, but I didn't really know how you can take points from one card and move it to another card, and then you could use it for hotel stays. So yeah, that's been
So
really good.
yeah, yeah. So I think you get your money's worth, whether it's one person or eight people, right? And
Right,
probably if you're a single traveler like you, like sometimes you're going to bring people with you. It could be friends,
right,
it could be family members, it could be parents, grandkids, whatever. Um,
right.
and then sometimes you may travel on your own, but so it's a way that I think that other people can benefit also.
Yeah, I agree.
So tell us about some of the trips that you have taken since becoming a member.
Okay, so we got a companion pass in October 2021 and really used it in last year. We went to after a schools out trip. That's what I like to call summer vacation trip. We went to Disney World in Orlando, and I took my grandkids and two grandsons, and we stayed at a very nice Hyatt hotel in Orlando for that weekend, and we stayed there for free without using our points. And
Awesome.
then with a member, George, he he showed me, he gave me the information how to use a timeshare at Bonnet Creek Resort. Oh my gosh, it was fabulous. It was beautiful. And we could have easily had other family members stay with us. I didn't realize how big and spacious it was. But for the price I paid for that timeshare, it was like for the whole week, it would been maybe 3 nights at a cramped hotel.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and that resort had everything, pools and restaurants and mini golf and
It's right
lake.
there on property too, right?
Yeah, yeah. Disney's just around the corner. It was
Mhm.
wonderful.
Like the rooms are very spacious. I haven't stayed there, but I just hear, what you have separate bedrooms and kitchen and
Yes,
washer dryer, all that. Yeah.
two bathrooms, washer dryer, big kitchen. It was nice. I had the whole bedroom to myself and a sunken tub, and
Oh,
oh
wow.
man, it was nice. It was nice. And then we left Disney in Orlando and went to Melbourne, Florida, and stayed at the hotel there for free using points. So we went to the beach, and then we were able to fly down on Southwest Airlines, and the hack worked twice, and so we saved a lot of money on airfare with that as well.
Um, and I know we have a mutual love of San Diego, right?
Oh yes,
You were able to
yes,
do San
yeah.
Diego too, weren't you?
Right. That's when 2021, and that's when we qualified for the companion pass. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then also last year after Disney in May and June, in October, we went on a family cruise out of New Orleans,
Oh,
and we used the points to stay at the Hotel Indigo in the French
I
Quarter.
love that hotel chain.
Oh, I know. It was wonderful. Right there in the middle of everything. And then went on our cruise for a week, and then we came back and we went to the Garden District and stayed at another Hotel Indigo. And it was really nice. And we stayed there using points as well. And so our last month, a few weeks ago, we got to go to Hawaii. And my niece is in the Navy, and so we got to stay with her, and but we used the Southwest airline hack to go there, and the companion pass, of course, that saved a lot of money. And then with
And that was for Christmas, right?
for Christmas. Hmm.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. That's a expensive time to go to Hawaii. So, and when she's talking about she's a hack, that's one of the hacks that we teach inside the membership that can help you save significantly on the points that you're paying to book a flight.
Right. And then Cammie had said in one of her webinars that to book one-way flights, and I had gone on Southwest Airlines website and saw that on Christmas Day, the flights are really cheap. Of course, I was going to be in Hawaii on Christmas Day, but I booked the flight anyway. And so then when the big Southwest Airline meltdown happened and they allowed you to move flights, I moved that really low price Christmas flight from Los Angeles to Nashville. And then I canceled the original one I had. And I wound up saving 14,000 points. So
not bad.
It worked great. It worked wonderful.
Yeah. And tell us about, because I know your Miami trip, that was one that I was interested in how you did that. And you stayed at a hostel, right? And did
right.
So I'd love to, if you tell more about that one.
Okay, that was for my birthday, December 2021. And the airline flights were really cheap from Nashville. They were $49 one way. So that just saved a lot right there. I told my family members about them, y'all want to go to Miami with me, whatever, no takers. So anyway, I went by myself. It doesn't faze me. I stayed at a hostel that was in Miami Beach, the Generator, and it was right across from the beach. You could just walk out the hotel and walk across the beach, and they have beach chairs you can get for free and take to the beach, or you want to rent a bike, you can bike. It was very nice. I met a lady from Germany, and she's a granny nanny, which I didn't even know existed. And so I made friends with her, and we toured around Miami Beach together. And so it was great. And it was a little deli down the street, and it was very nice. Transportation from Miami Airport to the hostel, I just walk out the terminal, get on a bus, and it dropped me right off in front of the hotel, in front of the hostel. And then I did tours, the free walking tours that you can pay what you think the tour is worth. The free tours by foot. And they have a variety of different places. And I took the public transportation, and I have no sense of direction, of course. I had to make sure I was on the right side of the street to get me to where I had to go.
Oh yeah, we've messed that up many, many times, especially
so
in foreign
I
countries.
enjoyed that. And then for my birthday, I went to I think it's called the market, some kind of marketplace. It's an outdoor area in downtown Miami.
Yeah. And we went to that. I forget what that's called though, but right by the Miami Heat Stadium, or it's real close to that. Mm-hmm.
It was very nice. It was very nice. And so that was a really inexpensive trip. I think I took $200 with me, and I only maybe spent about $100 on just food and stuff, and just enjoy just being away. Yeah. Yeah. It was like $35 a night, I think, to stay there. Wow. So it wasn't expensive. And I don't mind staying in hostels.
Yeah. Right. And that's not something I've ever done. So I find that interesting to, hear what it's like. And they can be nice. And you have granny nanny staying there, and,
I went to a wonderful hostel in Key West, and it was like a boutique hotel. It was very nice. It even had flat screen TVs, and it was really nice.
But you share a bathroom? Is that kind of the deal? Just like a small room, but you share a bathroom? Is that
right? And some of them, the bathrooms are down the hall, which I don't like. But yeah, these were in-suite bathrooms.
Oh, well, I mean, but you still share it, I guess.
Yeah,
just fewer people.
Right. Yeah. Four people in a room.
Okay.
And one time in San Diego, I was at a hostel, and I was the only one that was in the room for a couple of days. Then some other travelers showed up, so I had it all to myself.
Right. That's perfect.
Yeah.
It's a hotel room for a price of a hostel, I guess.
Right. It was in Ocean Beach, which I love.
Any other trips you want to tell us about? That was a lot already, but.
Well, 2 weeks from today, I'm going back to Miami, and I'm going to do my first solo cruise.
Oh,
The previous cruises of 5 or 6 I've done before, I was with my family. So I'm going to do a solo cruise.
so what cruise line are you?
Carnival,
Carnival, okay.
going
And
to
where will it
Jamaica,
go?
Jamaica, Grand Caymans, and Cozumel, Mexico.
Okay. I know
Six.
I've only been on one cruise. That's why I bring on experts to interview about cruising. But I know there was a lot of singles on that cruise that we went on.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I would imagine that's a common thing. Like maybe you'll meet your granny nanny, somebody like that, right?
She went back to Germany. I don't know. Could be. But they have a Facebook group and you meet people beforehand and
Oh,
that way.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to report back on that.
Okay. It's a 6-day trip.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
we have another family cruise in March doing spring break out of Long Beach, California. And we're going to the Mexican Riviera.
Oh.
So that'll be my daughter and my grandkids, myself.
And did you guys do Disneyland too, or am I?
We did
Yeah.
Disneyland last fall break. Yeah.
So how many trips do you think you've taken in the last almost 2 years?
Um, wow, at least 6 or 7, I think. Last two, well, maybe more.
Yeah, it seems like more than that.
Yeah, I think it's more than that. It's like 7 or 8.
Okay. Are you able to quantify at all what you think you've saved?
Well, with the hotels in like New Orleans, the Hotel Indigo, those rooms were going for like 350 a night, I think. Yeah, about 350. And we stayed there for 3 nights, so that's easily over $1,000. So I think probably on that trip, that New Orleans trip, last October, we probably saved at least $4,000 um with airfares and the hotels because we stayed at the Hotel Indigo coming back, and we had 2 rooms because we had another family member going with
Okay.
us. Um, so yeah, just in hotel rooms alone, a lot. And with the Hawaii trip, um, having that companion pass saved maybe $700 because I didn't have to, pay for that. And I use points, of course, but if you converted that.
Right. That's sort of what I do is I take what I paid in points and what that would have been in cash to come up
Right.
with a total. Um, yeah. So it's pretty amazing when you do that. How much you
Right.
have saved. I totaled up last year at $14,000 just on
Wow.
flights of what I would have
Wow.
had to have paid, which was pretty mind blowing. I really had no idea. Sat down there
Right.
and did the math, but that was just on 6 trips. So
Mm-hmm.
it adds up and you get to do more than you would have ever done. Do you feel like that? Is this, you're able to take trips that you wouldn't have taken if you didn't know how to do it for free?
Exactly. Like, I wouldn't have tried to have those days in New Orleans before the cruise, those 3 days. I would probably just arrive the day before the cruise and then the next day board the ship. But with the points, we get to, explore the city, eat all that good food in
Eat
New
some
Orleans.
beignets.
Yes, beignets, the gumbo, all of that. And just really kind of have a vacation before the vacation. So yeah, that I would agree
Let you
with.
splurge a little bit, maybe. Mhm.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, what would you tell people who are hesitant? They're not sure if this
Mhm.
will work for them. They feel like it's too good to be true. What advice would you give um, about that?
Well, I would tell them that you're going to spend the price for Families Fly Free anyway. You're going to pay it on a vacation. So this is an investment, and it's also like it's a educational travel education course in a sense because you're learning so many things, ways to save on travel and to like you say, splurge a little bit on yourself, like, and you're gonna like pay the money anyway. So at least you can have knowledge it shows you how to get the most out of your vacation, how to save the most money, how to use your everyday spending to transfer over to points for hotels or cars or flights or whatever. And also you can bless your family members because you can bring them along for less money. But you're gonna invest the money for Families Fly Free, but then you're gonna get it back in savings over and over again.
I agree. Yeah, and I think that's a good point of just worst case scenario. Even if you only got the money back that you invested in the membership, like I said, you would have gotten that back, but have learned how to stretch that even across a whole lot more. You would get so much more for that amount than you would have otherwise. But of course, we guarantee that you're going to save double. But I think that's a good point of you learn how to get the most out of your spending.
Right, because I want to go to Europe, I want to go to Africa, I want to go to Asia. And I'm thinking, before this, I didn't know, well, how am I going to do that? I'm going to have a whole lot of money. But, your program has shown me how I can get free flights to Europe and how to stay in hotels over there. And so that's the next big thing. I want to branch out from North America.
And do you feel like we've kind of helped build your confidence in your ability to do these things?
Yes, I very much feel that way because I thought when I looked before joining Families Fly Free, I looked at how the cost of a flight from Nashville to say London or to Italy. That's where I really want to go.
Yes, do
and
go
yeah, and I thought, whoo, that is a lot of money. But you show me the different airlines to look at how to get those points, to get those flights, and even the hotels, how you can use your points for hotels over there. So yeah.
Okay, watch out, Europe. Here comes Cheryl. a
Yeah.
lot of hostels over there too, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It is.
And in fact, Cammie, I think they stayed in one in Ireland. I feel like on their last trip, maybe it was the one before, but so yeah, tons of ways to save over there.
And some of them your family can stay, all ages can stay. It's not just for adults.
Yeah, we need to do a whole thing on hostels at some point because that's it's kind of like timeshares. It's a way it's out of pocket, but it's a significant saving,
Yeah, and you meet so many people from everywhere.
That's a fun benefit that you don't get at a hotel.
Right. No, you're right.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you would want to share or advise people before we wrap up?
Just that the Families Fly Free team
you
the
got
best.
It now.
The best of the best. They are very prompt in answering your emails and just walking you through the program. And everyone's so knowledgeable and patient and kind. And they go the extra mile. I just can't say enough about you and your whole staff. And you keep growing, you keep expanding, you keep adding things, and very, very creative, and I love it.
Thank you. Yes. And our goal is to help as many people, families as we can be able to do this. So it is exciting to be able to grow. And as more people join, we can add more features and cool technology and more experts and all of that. So it's certainly been a fun journey for me. And it's so fun to watch people like you be able to take the information and run with it and do amazing things.
Well, I thank you for providing this information. Well, the other thing I would say is that I when I found out my niece was going to be in Hawaii for the next 3 years, I told my family, we have a group family text. I said, you all need to start. I wasn't trying to be preachy or anything, but we got to save money because we need to go. We're going to go see her. And so one of the things I started way before I joined Families Fly Free is I had a savings account, travel savings account, vacation account at my credit union. And I also have a Christmas savings account. And so the money comes out of my account every 2 weeks, and it's there. And And that's what I used when we went to Hawaii. I used the Christmas money because that was my Christmas present to my grandkids and myself. And that was our spending money. So, and I'm not a big shopper, and I don't go on Amazon a whole lot and all that stuff. So I want, when I find a deal, a travel deal, I want to have the money there to jump on it and use it. And so I would just encourage people to have dedicated money set aside, special don't touch travel fund, and be ready to go, because life is short and there's a whole world out there you got to see.
Yes, and that's a great idea. The episode just aired with another member, Kay Wallingford, but that was her whole theme was life is short, travel now, because she felt like, they're in their 70s in retirement. Maybe they waited a little too late. Now they don't have time to get everything done. So I think that super good advice. And I love the idea of, I used a program for a while called Digit, where it would just every day it would pull a little bit. You could tell it how much out of your account and set it aside.
Okay.
You could do it for however many, like you could do it for a Christmas club or do it for whatever reason you're saving up for something, but you don't even notice it coming out.
Right.
And then you've got this pot ready to go. And that can be a good thing to use to join Families Fly Free. Also, a lot of times we'll have people who join who say, oh, well, we had our travel budget, and so we just decided to use it to join the membership, knowing that we're going to be able to not have to use that for flights and hopefully hotels and all that.
Well, that's smart. Yeah. I like
Good
that
advice.
idea. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Cheryl, for sharing your tips and your story with everyone. I think you're a great example. You've done so many great things, and I love also bless your family. That's a great thing to remember too. And you can bless others with this knowledge that you have as well.
Right.
So everyone, consider Cheryl's advice and come join us. But thanks so much, Cheryl.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.